This is the founding document, the sacred text, the modern-day 10 Commandments. If Moses came down from the mountain with a real estate brochure instead of stone tablets. Dozens of world leaders received this charter, inviting them to join the chairman's panel. The Times of Israel verified it, so we know it's real, for sure. Let's discuss the pages today. Notable mention number 1, Gaza is not notably mentioned. Not once in 11 pages, for a board created to rebuild Gaza. It's like writing the Bible and forgetting to mention God, just a minor oversight. But the people selected for this board, they represent peace, pure, unfiltered peace, the kind John Lennon imagined. You know, imagine all the people living life in peace. Now imagine those people include a guy with an ICC arrest warrant, a dictator, and Jared Kushner. Still peaceful? Great. You're qualified for the board. Because imagining peace is easy. Bringing actual peace? That would require acknowledging the place you're supposedly helping. But why let details ruin a perfectly good billion-dollar idea? Welcome to today's special report from the Outcast. With everything falling apart, ICE raids, shootings, economic collapse, it's nice to know someone's working on peace. Enter the Board of Peace, a beacon of hope, a symbol of unity, run by war criminals and real estate developers. What could possibly go wrong? But who am I to judge? Let's see the papers and you can decide yourself. Let me get this straight. We've got a preamble here that is basically one long passive-aggressive subtweet at the United Nations, lamenting that too many approaches foster perpetual dependency. Oh, so you mean like how we have been fostering perpetual dependency for the last 75 years? Got it. Lasting peace takes root when people are empowered. The only person empowered here is the chairman. We will see this in the chapters to come. Article 1 says the Board of Peace is going to promote stability, restore dependable governance, and secure enduring peace, which, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that just the entire job description of the United Nations, the one we already have? But wait, it gets better. They're going to do this in accordance with international law. Thank God they clarified that. Because I was worried they were gonna restore governance by, I don't know, violating international law. We're gonna bring peace legally, you guys. And my favorite part, they're going to develop best practices capable of being applied by all nations. Best practices. Like an influencer wrote a self-help book, Top 10 Peace Building Hacks. Number 7 will shock you. So we're creating an international organization whose entire mission statement is we're gonna try to do peace stuff. According to the rules, using good ideas. That's not a charter, that's a New Year's resolution. So, membership is limited to states invited by the chairman. The chairman. What is this, a country club? I'm terribly sorry, Vatican, but you're not invited. You're not on the list. The chairman will call you, don't call us. No thoughts and prayers allowed at this time. Each member state shall serve a term of no more than 3 years, unless, and here's where the chef's kiss happens, unless you give us $1 billion in the first year. $1 billion, that's not a peace charter, that's a Kickstarter with diplomatic immunity. You get invited by the chairman. Very democratic, very transparent. And then if you want to skip the 3-year term limit, you just PayPal them $1 million. This isn't a board of peace, it's a board of pay to play. It's the VIP section at the nightclub of international relations. Oh, you only brought 500 million? Yeah, sorry, you'll have to wait outside with all the PDF files waiting for their documents to be released. Both of it won't make it. So, Article 2.3 says, membership terminates if, let's see, the chairman decides to remove you, subject to a veto by 2/3 majority. Read that again. The chairman can kick you out unless 2/3 of everyone else votes to save you. So one person has unilateral firing power, but it takes a supermajority to stop him. That's not checks and balances, that's a dictatorship with a strongly worded suggestion box. And then Article 2.4, Any member can withdraw with immediate effect by providing written notice. So you can't get in without an invitation from the chairman, but you can leave by sending an email. Dear chairman, it's not you, it's me. Actually, it is you. I'm out. Friends. This sounds like a book club run by someone's controlling mother-in-law. You don't like my pig? Fine, you're out. But also, please come back, we need the numbers. Let's break down this masterpiece of peace. Article 3.1e. Decisions shall be made by a majority of member states present and voting, subject to the approval of the chairman. So everyone votes, democracy happens, the people have spoken. And then the chairman can just say, nah, that's not a vote, that's a poll. It's like asking your kids where they want to go for dinner and then taking them to a strip club anyway. But wait, it gets better. In the event of a tie, the chairman may also cast a vote in his capacity as chairman. So, let me understand. He can veto any decision he doesn't like and he gets to break ties. That's not a tiebreaker, that's a guaranteed win. And the agenda is set by the executive board, subject to approval by the chairman. You can send someone else to represent you, subject to approval by the chairman. Everything is subject to the chairman. They put democracy and voting in there the way restaurants put salad on the menu. Technically it exists, but we all know nobody's ordering it. The President of the United States is the chairman. Oh, so this whole time we've been talking about the chairman, like it's some mysterious figure, I hope for Gandalf or Sauron, and it's, the guy who can veto everything, approve everything, invite whoever he wants, kick out whoever he wants, and also gets to vote as the United States representative. It's the same guy. Does he get 2 votes, the chairman and the US representative? That's not a conflict of interest, that's a BOGO deal on autocracy. They could have saved everyone a lot of time and just called this the Sauron gets to do whatever he wants treaty. At least that would have been honest. The chairman shall at all times designate a successor. So I call him Sauron from now on. Picks his own replacement. Cool, very normal, very democratic, peace-building organization for us. But wait, replacement only happen if he voluntarily resigns or if the executive board unanimously declares him incapacitated. Unanimously. Not a majority, not 2/3. Unanimous. So if Sauron appoints the executive board, which, spoiler alert, he does, then those people have to all agree, every single one, that he's incapacitated. That's not a removal process, that's a hostage negotiation. You know what else requires unanimous consent, or should? Jury verdicts in murder trials. Having sex with someone. Giving your cat their food. The king is dead. Long live the king. That the previous king chose, who probably has the same last name. At this point I'm shocked it doesn't say subject to approval by Sauron. They're getting lazy. The chairman may establish subcommittees. Yeah, no kidding. He can also dissolve them, veto them, approve their agendas, fire their members and probably decide what they have for lunch. So Article 3.4, Sauron can make up more stuff whenever he wants. There, I just saved you 3 lines of that shit. The executive board shall be selected by the chairman and consists of leaders of global stature. Global stature. So Sauron gets to decide who has global stature. That's not qualification, that's a vibe check. Sorry, French guy Emmanuel Baguette. You're only regional stature. Maybe if you had better ratings. And Article 4.1b, they serve 2-year terms, subject to removal by the chairman and renewable at his discretion. So he picks them, can fire them whenever, and he decides if they get to stay. That's not an executive board. That's The Apprentice International Edition. But here's the kicker. The executive board makes decisions by majority vote, which go into effect immediately, subject to veto by the chairman at any time thereafter. So they can vote, make a decision. implement it, send out the press release, have the ribbon cutting ceremony, and then Sauron can just veto it. That's not governance, that's improv, where one guy has a really aggressive yes and actually no policy. I'm starting to think this whole Board of Peace thing might just be a one guy thing. One Board of Peace to rule them all. So their mandate is do stuff that Sauron allows you to do, which he can unallow at any moment, and also report to him quarterly about the stuff he already knows about, because he is the one fucking guy who decides everything. This isn't a mandate, it's a suggestion that can be removed at any time. It's like your boss saying, you have full authority to make decisions that I reserve the right to unmake, while laughing at you. We've got an international peace organization run entirely by one guy, and it's funded by whoever feels like giving them money. That's not a budget, that's a GoFundMe. Please donate to help Sauron bring peace to Middle-earth, where orcs and elves can live in peace. Every little bit helps. $5 you get a bag with a Sauron squeaky toy on it. And other states. So countries that aren't even members can just throw money at this thing. Hey, we didn't get invited to the chairman's club, but here's $50 million anyway. This isn't a peace organization, it's a slush fund with a mission statement. It's like if Kickstarter and the UN had a baby and that baby was raised by the mob or a casino. And where the fuck does the money go? Who's auditing this? The chairman? Sauron? Article 6 says the Board of Peace has international legal personality and can enter into contracts, acquire property, institute legal proceedings, open bank accounts, receive and disperse funds, and employ staff. So this Sauron-run organization can buy property, open bank accounts, hire people. It's not just a peace organization, it's a corporation with diplomatic immunity. It's like if Sauron Org and the State Department had a baby and gave it a passport. And then, Article 6b, they get privileges and immunities, as are necessary for the exercise of their functions. Privileges and immunities. You know what else has privileges and immunities? Embassies, diplomats, people who can't be prosecuted. So let me paint you a picture. Sauron runs an organization that can take money from anyone, open bank accounts anywhere, buy property, hire staff, and they get diplomatic immunity in countries where they operate. I've seen money laundering schemes with more transparency. At least the Cayman Islands have brochures. Internal disputes should be resolved through collaboration. Okay, sure, that sounds nice. And for such purposes, Sauron is the final authority. Sauron is the final authority on fucking interpretation. So if there's a dispute about what the charter means, Sauron decides what it means. That's not interpretation, that's the one ring. The rings mean whatever I say they mean when I say they mean it. You got a problem with how things are running? Take it up with the guy running it. Don't like a decision? Appeal to the guy who made the decision. Think the charter is being misinterpreted? Well, good news. The guy misinterpreting it gets to tell you what it actually means. I've seen toddlers with better conflict resolution skills. It's my toy and I make the rules, and I also decide what the rules mean. We're running out of ways to say Sauron decides everything, right? So some amendments need a 2/3 vote and confirmation by Sauron, but amendments to chapters 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 and 10 need unanimous approval and confirmation by Sauron. Let me check something quick. Chapter 2 is membership. Who gets in? Chapter 3 is governance. Sauron's powers. Chapter 4 is the executive board that Sauron appoints. Chapter 5 is money. Chapter 8 is this chapter. The amendment rules themselves. And Chapter 10 we haven't seen yet, but I'm sure it's totally normal. So, you can amend the boring stuff with just 2/3, but if you want to touch anything related to Sauron's power, the money, or who gets to be a member, everyone has to agree. It's like saying, yeah, you can edit the constitution, you just need everyone to agree, and also the king has to sign off. Sauron is authorized to adopt resolutions or other directives to implement the Board of Peace mission. Resolutions or other directives. Or other directives. What does that even mean? That's not a legal term, that's a wild card. I can issue resolutions, directives, strongly worded letters, vibes, whatever. And notice it says acting on behalf of the Board of Peace, not with approval of or in consultation with, on behalf of. So Sauron can just declare stuff and it counts as an official Board of Peace decision. He doesn't need to ask the executive board he appointed, or the member states who invited themselves by paying $1 billion. He just does it. This is like spending 3 hours explaining the rules of Monopoly and then adding, also Uncle Dave can just take money from the bank whenever he wants. Why did we even bother with all the other chapters? Just make it one chapter. Sauron's in charge. The end. The Board of Peace dissolves at the end of every odd-numbered calendar year, unless renewed by the chairman. So, this entire international organization, with its legal personality, its bank accounts, its property, its diplomatic immunity, its billion-dollar memberships, has an expiration date every 2 years, and it only continues if Sauron decides to renew it by November 21st of odd years. So every other November, world leaders are just sitting around like, did Sauron remember to renew the peace organization? Should someone text him? Is it still a thing? Maybe light a bonfire? This isn't a charter, it's a lease agreement with an autocracy clause. What kind of peace organization has a provision controlled by one guy? This whole elaborate international organization with its governance structures, its executive board, its financial provisions, its diplomatic immunity goes into effect when 3 states agree to it. Not the UN Security Council, not a majority of nations, not even like 10 countries. 3. Sauron could get the US, El Salvador and maybe Mordor, I don't know, whoever's trying to get a Sauron tower built and boom, international legal personality, bank accounts, property acquisition. And then, this beautiful article, countries can provisionally apply the charter even before their own government approve it, and countries that don't provisionally apply can still participate as non-voting members, subject to approval by Sauron. Of course, even the non-voting members need Sauron's permission, so this international peace organization can launch with 3 countries, gets deposited with the US for safekeeping, and even the people who don't vote still need Sauron's approval to show up. They could have just called this the Sauron can do whatever he wants, and also we are keeping the receipts at Mara Mordor. Okay, let's just rapid fire through the greatest hits here. Chapter 12. No reservations may be made to this charter. Translation: you can't join with conditions. It's all or nothing. You want in, you accept everything. Sauron's veto power, the $1 billion membership fee, the renewal lottery, all of it. 13.2. They may establish a headquarters. May. This international organization with legal personality and bank accounts doesn't even have a guaranteed office. Where's the Board of Peace located? We'll get back to you on that. Probably wherever Sauron feels like putting it. Rohan, Gondor, or even Mordor. And then the Board of Peace will have an official seal, which shall be approved by Sauron. Even the logo needs Sauron's approval. Sauron picks the members. Sauron runs the meetings. Sauron appoints the executive board. Sauron can veto everything. Sauron interprets the rules. Sauron can dissolve it whenever. It needs 3 countries to launch. The official language is English. The headquarters is to be determined. And even the seal needs his approval. They wrote a 13-chapter document to say Sauron is in charge. You could have done this in a tweet. New peace thing, I run it. 1 billion to join, English only, headquarters TBD, logo pending. The only thing I can assure you, there will be no questions. Are there any questions? So much for today, so much for this report, and now let's watch this drive.